biggest theme in the movie is man versus nature, and the idea that if you try and fight nature, you're going to lose. Like, you can't control it, really. You have to let it take its course. And Godzilla represents that in our movie. I feel like if nature had a mascot, it would be Godzilla.
When I heard about his war, you know, it's so strong and sounds like a scream of sadness and pain, you know. Yeah, and then to me, it all feel like almost, you know, Godzilla is scolding us for humanity's foolishness. Then, yeah, I recognize about, you know, Godzilla is symbolism of a human conscious. Yeah, it's some kind of mirror. Yeah.
It really goes back to the reason it was made in the first place for the Japanese people, and we honor that origin of it being a response to nuclear power during World War II and their experiences and their fears. And
it had a huge meaning to why they created this monster, you know, and it has, you know, so he wanted it to have that same sort of effect and meaning, but for now, you know.
Now Godzilla to me represents human negligence and abuse of nature and power, and the desire to control it. But he is the end all be all. He's the one who controls everything, and yeah, that's why he is the ultimate monster.
Godzilla has a legendary history, doesn't it, about a metaphoric sense of how we are in balance or out of balance with Earth. What are we doing as human beings to the Earth? And the pushback, and Godzilla represents the pushback of the imbalance that human beings cause to the Earth. So it has that metaphoric message to it. But it's not evident when you're watching a movie. It's a big monster movie, it's great, and now we have, in this version, you know, characters that are on this journey, and you care about them and you root for them.
We wanted you to care as much about the story and the human characters in this movie as you did about the spectacle. That was really important to us. I loved Gareth Edwards' movie Monster, and we wanted to bring that fresh voice and perspective. And then with the cast, it was important to us that we had amazing actors. And when you have Juliette and Aaron and Lizzie and Bryan Cranston and Ken Watanabe, David Strathairn, you know, this is a cast that I think could do Shakespeare as easily as it could do a Godzilla movie.
I grew up with those early Spielberg films where, as well as having all the spectacle and the fantasy, you are following people that you truly care about. And for us, it was like the goal from day one was to try and create people that you can relate to, that are not heroes at the start of the film or anything, and everyday folk that are just put into these extraordinary circumstances. And
what attracted me to this story was that the characters in here are important, and they're passionate, and they're concerned, and the audience feels for them as they watch this film.
Because he wasn't there, it forces you to make a film that works even without that layer, you know, because you're having to make the characters work, you're having to make the storyline as strong as it can be, and then what happens in post-production, you start putting Godzilla in, and suddenly it elevates the whole movie, you know. And I remember the first time I saw a test, there was some test animation that MPC, the company that did the visual effects for him, did. And we sat down for a meeting, and they said it was in the middle of filming and your brain is in a million places and you're really distracted. And they said, we just want to show you a little test we did. And it was Godzilla walking past the Golden Gate Bridge, and it looked incredible. And it was kind of like, and you remember, oh yeah, we're doing that movie. And it was like meeting the star of your film for the first time.
You know, to me, it's just this force of nature personified, and everything about him, his entrances, his roar, the way he looks, you know, it's hard to look away.
Godzilla roar. You teach me. How do we do it?
See the ghost there.